Did you know there's an entire state outside of Chicago? Amtrak certainly did, as there are 30 total stations in my home state of Illinois, the second most in the nation, and I'm going to visit all of them to explore what the land of Lincoln has to offer. This is your ticket to Illinois. This video and the others in this series are a culmination of over 2.5 years of research, traveling, filming, and editing in order to visit and document every Amtrak station in the state of Illinois. Having grown up in a smaller town downstate, I wanted to use our relatively robust Amtrak network in order to showcase the part of the state that most people probably don't think about. I try my best to thoroughly research each city and visit the unique or interesting attractions in each. However, due to the nature of me having limited time to actually go on these trips, it's inevitable that I will miss something, places will be closed, or I won't be able to visit something. That's where you come in. If you grew up, live, or just visited one of these places and there's something I missed, didn't get to see, or if you just have a personal connection or story, please leave a comment. I want to hear your thoughts and experiences. Just remember to please be nice and respectful. Another note, in this video I'll talk about town founders and settlers, but it's important to know that prior to European settlement, much of Illinois was inhabited by Native American tribes, many of whom lend their names to places in the state and the state itself. Illinois is named for the Illinois Confederacy, also known as the Illinois or Illini, a collection of about a dozen native tribes in the Mississippi River Valley, including tribes such as the Cahokia, Kaskaskia, and Peoria. Illinois comes from the Ojibwe word Illiniwek, which was adapted into French as Illinois, and began to appear as Illinois in the late 1670s. As European settlement continued westward, many of these native tribes were forced out of their lands and into reservations. Unfortunately, the specifics of this are beyond the scope of this video, but I highly recommend reading and learning about the native history of Illinois. One last thing before we get into it. This has taken me a long time to complete and has been my passion project for a while. If you enjoy it, please leave a like, and if you feel so inclined and want to help me make future videos, or make back all the money I spent on Amtrak tickets, the link to my Patreon is in the description. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Welcome aboard Amtrak's Illini and Saluki, which offers 2 round trips between Chicago and Carbondale. The morning trains are named after the mascot of Southern Illinois University, and the evening trains after the mascot of the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, both of which are served by the line. These trains originate from the mighty Illinois Central Railroad. Chartered in 1851, the Illinois Central was once the world's longest railroad, with a sprawling network across multiple states. One of their main lines ran from Chicago down through Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi to New Orleans. This line hosted many passenger trains, including the famed city of New Orleans. In the 70s, in response to falling revenue from passenger services, the Illinois Central decided to focus on a mini corridor between Chicago and Carbondale, providing service to multiple universities and an Air Force base. Several trains that originally went to New Orleans were cut back to end at Carbondale, with some weekend trains being up to 18 cars long. When Amtrak took over passenger operation from the Illinois Central in May 1971, they kept only one of the Chicago-Carbondale trains, the Shawnee, along with the city of New Orleans. Amtrak's first ever train departure in the Midwest was the Shawnee, which left Carbondale at 6 a.m. on May 1, 1971. In November of 1971, to better serve the University of Illinois students, Amtrak began running the Chicago Champaign Illini on Fridays, and the campus on Fridays and Sundays. Both trains only lasted a few months, ending in early March 1972 with the closure of Chicago Central Station. Chicago Central Station was built in 1892 by the Illinois Central at the south end of Grant Park, and hosted the railroad's passenger trains until its closure. Amtrak moved the City of New Orleans/Panama Limited and the Shawnee trains to Union Station, but given the way the tracks are laid out, these trains had to reverse in and out of the station. Amtrak ended service on the Illini and campus due to this reversing move, worried that the additional travel time would make the trains less desirable. Chicago Champaign service returned December 19, 1973, as the state-funded Illini, which ran daily. The train was briefly extended to Decatur in 1981, being cut back to Champaign again in 1983 due to low ridership. Eventually, due to budget issues, Amtrak combined the Illini and Shawnee in 1986, providing one round trip between Chicago and Carbondale, in addition to the city. A second round trip, the Saluki, began service in 2006. Together, the pair of trains saw 319,114 riders in fiscal year 2025. Today's Illini and Saluki trains still have to reverse in and out of Union Station, as they did over 50 years ago. There are plans to build a connection in Grand Crossing to allow these trains to directly go to Union, saving up to 15 minutes of travel time. For now, we back out of Union, turn around, and head south following Metro Electric to our first stop of Homewood. The Illinois Central laid its tracks through this South Chicago suburb in 1854, and the stop on the line was originally named Thornton Station. The name was changed to Homewood in 1869, after Homewood, Pennsylvania, and was officially incorporated in 1893. Homewood was the terminal for Illinois Central commuter trains into Chicago for decades, and is still served by Metra, Chicago's modern commuter rail. That's what I and some friends took to get down there. Well, most of the way there. When we went, the station was closed and undergoing a large rehab project, which was finished May 2025. I've been working on this video for a while. We took the train to Calumet, just north of the Homewood city limits.
We're here! We made it!
A short walk later and we arrived at the American headquarters for Canadian National, one of the main 6 freight carriers in the United States, and the current owner of the former Illinois Central main line. From there, we headed to the Homewood Railroad viewing platform, a platform built near the tracks for foamers like us to watch trains. The Amtrak depot was built in 1923 by the Illinois Central in a Mission Revival architectural style. The village saw 46,211 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025.
We're not allowed down here, it says no rats.
An Illinois Central locomotive and caboose sit nearby, something we'll be seeing often.
Who's Martin, and why are they so square?
Wait.
The next stop of the line is well outside of Metro territory, in the city of Kankakee. The community that would become Kankakee was built around an Illinois Central station, named Kankakee Depot, in 1853. By the end of 1854, the town was estimated to have just over 1,000 residents. The community was officially incorporated as Kankakee City in 1855. A decade later, the name was shortened to Kankakee, and today is the largest city in the Kankakee-Bradley-Bourbonnais metro area, with a population of 24,052. Where exactly the name Kankakee comes from is disputed, but it's probably from a Miami, Illinois Native American word meaning open country or exposed land.
Well, the waiting room is locked, but it's nothing really to write home about.
The current station building was built in 1898 by the Illinois Central to replace an old wooden depot. It was fully restored by the city a century later in 1998, and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2000. The station served 18,244 riders in fiscal year 2025. I walked around downtown, checking out buildings such as the Paramount Theater, a 5-screen restored historic theater, and the Kankakee County Courthouse, before making my way over to the Kankakee Metro Center, the main transfer center for River Valley Metro, the city's transit system. The city is home to the B. Harley Bradley and Warren Hickox houses, two houses built by renowned architect Frank Lloyd Wright in the Prairie School architectural style. The houses sit next to the Kankakee River, which bisects the city. I then walked over to Cobb Park to check out a very special gazebo. After the city was named America's worst place to live in 1999, famous talk show host David Letterman sent Kankakee 2 gazebos as a stunt to beautify the town and make it the city of twin gazebos. 16 years later, students at the Kankakee High School took down one of the gazebos, symbolizing how Kankakee had grown and improved. The wood from the gazebo was used to build a rocking chair, which was gifted to Letterman for his retirement. Its twin continues to stand in the park. I had some time before my return train, so I checked out the Kankakee Railroad Museum in the station. The museum featured model train layouts and assorted railroad memorabilia. Our next stop is the least used Amtrak station in the state. This is Gilman, a city of just 1,738, seeing just 2,172 riders in fiscal year 2025. First laid out in 1857 at the crossing of the Illinois Central and the Peoria and Occoquan railroads. Named after Samuel Gilman, a director of the engineering firm that constructed part of the P&O, Gilman was fully incorporated as a city in 1867. Illinois Central passenger trains began serving the area in 1858. When Amtrak took over, service to Gilman was discontinued, but started again in 1986.
Thanks, have a good one. Station is kind of down here by this interstate gas station restaurant development area. So we just follow this road up for a bit and we'll eventually make it to the actual town of Gilman. So with the way the times are trained, the way the trains are timed is my return train is in about 2 hours. So, and given that it's basically an hour walk to the town and back, I've got about an hour to do activities. I'm hoping to be able to have dinner at like a local restaurant, but I don't know. It'd have to be somewhere quick because I don't want to cut it too close, because if I miss the train, I'm kind of screwed. This looks like a cool place. Yeah, it's a cool little shop. Smoothies, lattes, sandwiches. Oh, I would have loved to go in there. So there's someone else who got off the train with me and is also walking. So, I mean, I'm not insane. Someone else is doing this as well. Okay, so we're basically in Gilman now. You know, there's businesses and houses. Props to Gilman. Thanks for having a sidewalk. The walk being shorter than I expected, coupled with the train, my return train being a little bit late, I think gives me enough confidence to try out the restaurant. And hopefully it's just not super busy or super slow. I'm gonna go check out downtown and then probably make my way back towards the station and have some dinner. You know it's a small town when you see, like I did, people driving in golf carts. Well, a small town or the villages in Florida.
The main street was quiet and quaint, lined with local businesses and cool old buildings.
I will say this is a very nice little downtown street. Like, you've got your angled parking as well as these kind of little bump outs with, you know, plants in them, and pretty decent sidewalks, like wide sidewalks. You've got like the nice brick. You've got a cat.
Unfortunately, the Historical Society was open by appointment only, which I wish I knew prior.
I bet this would be like super lively in the summer. You know, school's out, there's like events and stuff going on along the street. But now I'm going to head back to the Amtrak station and get some dinner and hopefully not miss my train. So obviously I do have to bring up the elephant in the room, which is the fact that the Amtrak station is quite a ways away from the actual town. And I mean, I can't even say that most people aren't going to walk to it, because there was someone else on my train who got off and walked all the way to Gilman. It's all sidewalked, so it's definitely not the worst walk I've ever done. Obviously, I think it would be a lot better if it was closer to like the actual main downtown area. This is a restaurant. It's kind of in this truck stop area. Are you serious? I got my classic burger, but then I got American fries, which I'm not entirely sure what these are. I think she said this is like cut up potatoes grilled. So I'm looking forward to trying these. Update. I honestly didn't think I'd like these because I don't like, you know, steak fries, but these are pretty good. Just got out of dinner. The burger was okay. Those fries were pretty good. They kind of almost reminded me of like hash browns, especially like the smaller pieces. So if you like hash browns, you might like those. My return train has gotten later, so it is about an hour until it's supposed to arrive, so I don't think I really needed to worry as much. At least that gives us ample time to see and review the beautiful historic station here in Gilman.
The station itself is about a mile outside of the town, near some gas stations, restaurants, and hotels off an I-57 exit, and features not much more than a shelter.
I wonder how old those gas pumps are, because they definitely look kind of. Okay, well, time for an in-depth review. We have pedestrian safety with these bollards here, accessible parking, and an accessible ramp up to the platform. We have the tactile yellow strip on the platform, and we have the shelter. Notably, there are no schedules here. There's a wheelchair lift in there, and yeah, that's about it. Since I have ample time, I think I will try and just kind of walk this way a bit, just to, I guess, look at what's around. So this place is very closed, but it's interesting that the sign like is still lit up. This place is also very closed. I wonder how long this has been here, and how long it's been closed for. I wonder, was there something here, or was this just all parking? It's just an expanse of concrete, and I guess some billboard or sign of some sort. Here's inside the restaurant. It's probably been closed for a while. I wonder what it used to be. Like what kind of restaurant. Probably just some sort of like truck stop or family restaurant if I had to guess. I wonder if Amtrak will let me take this home. Alright, so interestingly, these pumps are still turned on, even though this is very much closed. Error code, yeah. Out of service, that one also has an error code. Closed for maintenance. Okay, it doesn't look like destroyed in there. So maybe it's just temporarily closed. I'm gonna walk over to this Dairy Queen and just like chill out there. No pun intended. There's the southbound city of New Orleans. The train just left Rantoul about 45 minutes late, so it's gotten a bit later, but the next stop is Gilman. So thank you to the Gilman Dairy Queen for hosting me and providing me with a s'mores blizzard. I love the s'mores blizzard. Well, I just got a drink from this gas station, and it showed up like on my credit card as Fred's Fuel and Food. So I think even though it looks closed, it lives on. So it might actually be just over there temporarily for maintenance. So I don't know. Does anybody know the lore of Fred's Fuel and Food?
The next stop is Rantoul. Formerly known as Mink Grove, Rantoul was first laid out in 1854 for the Illinois Central and was named for Robert Rantoul Jr., a director of the railroad. Rantoul's original Illinois Central station building still stands, but is unfortunately no longer used as a passenger depot.
You see that gas station down there? That's a Casey's. And then there's another Casey's.
In 1917, the village was chosen to be the site of Chanute Field, an Air Force facility that was used for technical training in World War I. The field quickly became the backbone of the city's economy, being renamed to Chanute Air Force Base after World War II. However, the facility closed in 1993. A museum occupied the site until it too closed in 2015. While many of the facility's buildings have been repurposed for civilian uses, such as housing, manufacturing, and even a motocross facility, many other buildings remain completely abandoned.
This just flashed. Does this still work? It does, oh my gosh. Like, you can barely see it, but it still works. I'm not gonna put any money in there, but does this one still work? Oh, it does. I don't know how well you can see, but it's scrolling the... Yeah, it's still 75 cents. Wow. I didn't expect these to actually be operational. Well, I mean, they could be out, but I didn't expect them to be turned on. This looks like it was an old gas station or auto service place. This is the first place I've been to ever with a digital menu. I cannot say I am a fan.
After lunch, I started to make my way over to the Walmart to catch a peak-only commuter bus to Champaign.
Posted up at the Walmart. It's about 20-30 minutes before the bus. Everything says it's supposed to board from around here, so I'm waiting here, but of course there's no sign, at least that I can see, and there's a food truck blocking the main thoroughfare, which, I mean, cool, but also I hope that doesn't preclude the bus coming down this way. Oh my god, there it is. It exists, it exists. Oh my god, thank goodness. Alright, I'm now in Champaign. But the Champaign segment will start with me actually getting off a train.
Tell me, why are we getting off in Champaign-Urbana?
Secret.
Okay.
Well, now it's no longer a secret. The twin cities of Champaign and Urbana have quite a history of competition, growth, and compromise. Urbana was founded in 1822, originally named Big Grove but renamed after Urbana, Ohio in 1833. The area that would become Champaign was founded in 1855, when the Illinois Central ran through the area, and was originally named West Urbana because, well, it was west of Urbana. It was renamed to Champaign when it got an official city charter in 1861. Like Urbana, its name came from Ohio, though this time from a county. The county Urbana, Ohio is in. So Urbana, Illinois is named after Urbana, Ohio, which is in Champaign County, Ohio, which Champaign, Illinois and Champaign County, Illinois are named after. Both were named by State Senator John Vance, who was from Urbana, Ohio, which is in Champaign County, Ohio, which Champaign, Illinois is named for. The Illinois Central built a station in Champaign in 1855. However, the then larger Urbana was a mile and a half to the east of the depot, which spurred a movement to incorporate both Urbana and West Urbana into one municipality. Proponents argued that they would be stronger as one complete city as opposed to two, while critics claimed that the larger Urbana would monopolize the depot area for its own benefit. Eventually, the February 14, 1855 Urbana Charter did not include the depot area. A post office named West Urbana was established near the station a couple months later, and the area essentially operated as its own city, holding elections and operating civic services. By 1857, Urbana began to worry that the growing West Urbana would begin to outpace and eventually overshadow the older city. These fears increased after West Urbana incorporated as a village that same year. Some people even began to advocate for moving the county seat from Urbana to West Urbana. In order to compete, Urbana built a new courthouse and a small one-car mule-powered railroad, the Urbana Railroad Company, that connected themselves with the depot in West Urbana. In 1861, the village of West Urbana reincorporated as the city of Champaign, and was now the larger of the two cities. Votes to merge the two were held in 1953 and 1980, but both failed, and today the two cities sit separately side by side. Today, Amtrak stops in Champaign at the Illinois Terminal, a multimodal facility that opened in 1999, which also serves the Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District bus system. Originally, trains stopped at the Illinois Central Depot across the street, which opened in 1898. The station is the second busiest in the state after Chicago, serving 254,996 passengers in fiscal year 2025. Just across the street from the station is the old headquarters of the Illinois Traction System, an electric interurban that operated in central and southern Illinois until 1956. I might do a video on them. While walking around the old downtown, we came across a plaque and sculpture celebrating Roger Ebert, an influential film critic born in Urbana, whose reviews in the Chicago Sun-Times won him the Pulitzer Prize, and was lauded as the best-known film critic in America. The adjacent theater was hosting a Roger Ebert Film Festival as well. Alright, so I just gotta come back here in like 51 years.
This sign conveys all the necessary information, but like, in just the most complex and boring looking way possible.
Also, some nice real-time information. Okay. Alright, we got some food here, Smith Burger Company. It looks very good.
It does.
Miles got a
triple plain Jane with lettuce and tomato.
Oh, baby, a triple! So what is that big panel?
I've always wondered that. It's on every Excelsior.
The heat has aggressively begun.
Very loudly and texturally, tactfully, you can feel the heat.
We took CUMTD up to the Marketplace Mall, a decently lively shopping center on the north side of the city.
Should I give it a try?
I don't feel like it will end well, but it's up to you.
It's for the content, you know?
Okay.
So I put in, does it even take bills?
Yeah.
Oh, establishing cell connection, that's nice. It might not be operational. Yeah, I don't think it's working.
That is so unfortunate.
I could have won all of these prizes, but I'll
All of
never
them.
know. Spencer's.
That'd be right next to Claire's.
No, right next to FYE.
Oh, that is cool to see FYE.
Yeah, I think this is probably the most alive mall that we will see in this series.
Yeah, this is great.
There is a Auntie Anne's here.
Where?
I don't. Oh, it's over here. It's open.
This is amazing.
It's really nice. They still have the carousel.
Oh my god.
Very nice that they have real-time info screen here.
It's awesome. It makes the bus feel present.
Now approaching Main and Walnut.
I mean, it sounds like it's going to blast off. But, so you have this screen and then you have the screen up there. Let's see.
Yeah, right.
This is very nice.
This is gorgeous. Love this.
Heading back south, we stopped at Helms Park, which featured both an arch commemorating the old Burnham City Hospital, which served the city from 1895 to 1992, and a stone bridge from the old Urbana Railroad Company, which, if you remember, connected Urbana to the Illinois Central Main Line in what was then West Urbana.
This view, it looks like a mega metropolis.
It does.
Huh. I wonder where I am. Hey, how you doing?
We eventually made our way to the campus of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, one of the largest public universities in the country. Founded in 1867 as the Illinois Industrial University, it was renamed in 1885. A major technological and research university, the school offers over 150 different undergraduate, over 200 graduate, and over 90 doctoral programs of study across 16 distinct colleges. Influential technological developments from the school include the ELIAC, an early supercomputer, in 1952, and the first graphical browser for the World Wide Web, Mosaic, was developed by a UIUC student-teacher team in 1993. The inventor of the LED was a UIUC PhD student of the inventor of the transistor, who taught at the school for over 2 decades. Many notable people have attended the university, including the founder of Delta Airlines, the co-founder of YouTube, the creator of JavaScript, actor Nick Offerman, also known as Ron Swanson, and the aforementioned Roger Ebert. There are so many more notable alumni and achievements, so check out my sources list for more info if you want.
Elevator review. Oh my god, look at that. That is super cool.
What?
Oh, we want to go up.
Oh, we do? Oh. Does that actually flip anything?
I guess maybe. We'll see.
Oh
we do want to go
God.
down, actually.
Oh, we do go down.
Yeah.
It's an Otis. Like, it's got an old Otis plate.
But no year, though.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm just gonna overlay the Wii Sports bowling theme over. This is the bus towing spot.
Oh my god, that is the most truck mini bus truck I've ever seen in
gosh.
I think it is. It's Comic Sans.
I think that's Comic Sans in the book.
Oh my god.
That's like...
That's egregious.
Ha! Sorry. Psh, try again.
Six-pointed star, Chicago reference? Chicago? Is that Chicago?
9.
Fans of Midwest emo music will recognize this house from the album art of Urbana-based band American Football's debut album, one of the most acclaimed albums of this genre. After the house, we headed over to Champaign's sister city Urbana, whose downtown is dominated by the Lincoln Square Mall.
I love the different sized handles.
I don't know where I'm getting that from. If Stormy has any British viewers, let me know if I'm right.
It's kind of cool. It's got a co-op in the mall. Record store. Not work.
Does not work.
Darn. It's just such a weird structure. That bus is hydrogen fuel cell electric, so.
Yeah, apparently the first XHE60s ever ordered.
I mean, it is very quiet.
It is.
Here's the main drag. Absolute cinema. Just caught my eye. On a whim, I got some double chocolate peanut butter cups. Is that a reference I'm not getting?
Yes.
Okay. That was very good. If you're ever in Urbana, main scoop. If you like sweet things.
If you like sweet things.
That's the nicely named Cattle Bank. And that's the oldest commercial building in Champaign. I would hate to be working that thing. We just missed the hydrogen bus again. So we're taking this farther east. And we're gonna walk up and hopefully catch this on its way back west.
Fingers crossed.
Here's hoping. All right, Miles, what are your thoughts on Champaign?
I think the campus is the most inspiring part. It's pretty cool that it's Twin City, like there are two downtowns. There's nothing that like blew me away in the same way that Ann Arbor, Michigan did. Another Midwest college town with, as we looked up, pretty much an identical population to the combined Champaign-Urbana. But no, I had a good time. I mean, CUMTD is an amazing bus system. I think it serves this area really well.
Yeah, the routes are kind of confusing and convoluted, but operationally and service-wise, like, it was very useful for us, and like everywhere you looked on campus, there was another bus going somewhere. So.
Yeah. How about you? What do you think of Champaign?
I mean,
again, I think it was really easy to get around. There are a lot of cool things. I think there's a lot of cool buildings, a lot of cool parks, and yeah, it's great that it's accessible by train.
Yeah.
It's another cool place you can go on Amtrak.
End the segment with the gorillas.
Gorillas. As the Illinois Central continued southward, it was found that the line would cross the Terre Haute and Alton's Railroad. This caused investment, speculation, and development at the junction, and eventually the fledgling town was incorporated in 1857 as Mattoon, after William B. Mattoon, the chief construction engineer of the Terre Haute and Alton, who allegedly won the right to name the city in a card game. So it says the museum is open, but it's open 1 to 4, and of course it's just after 4, so it's also very windy. Oh my god. The current station was built in 1918, and originally also included a power plant, mailroom, luggage room, and restaurant. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in the early 2000s, and underwent rehabilitation in 2010. The station saw 34,319 passengers in fiscal year 2025. There actually used to be a Greyhound station here, and it obviously it's not here anymore, but if you look on Google, at Google Historical Images, you can still see the pretty sad looking Greyhound station. There's a Greyhound sign near the station, but I don't think they stop here anymore. This looks like some sort of fountain water feature sort of deal. That's unfortunately turned off at the moment. Oh no, those trains are going to crash! Mattoon is home to Bagel Fest, a 3-day festival with live music, a parade, dog show, and more. The festival started as a way to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Lender's Bagels Company, whose last remaining plant still operates in Mattoon. This looks like a really cute little nice green. How many adjectives can I add? Again, waterfall, but it's not turned on yet. I feel like it's been warm enough to turn those on. I think we could have some waterfalls, as a treat. 12 minutes is such a specific amount of time. Like, why not just do 10 or just do 15? Still got about an hour left for the train. I'm pretty hungry. Thankfully there's Burger King close by. Mattoon's Burger King had its start in the 1950s, when Gene and Betty Hoots brought an ice cream stand named Frigid Queen, and began to expand the menu to include burgers and fries. Eventually they named this new business to Burger King, trademarking the name within the state in 1959. However, the fast food chain of the same name began to expand into the state, opening their first Illinois location in Skokie in 1961, and continued to grow. Eventually, the two began a legal battle, with the Hootses claiming their trademark gave them rights to the Burger King name within the state of Illinois, while the corporation wanted to use the name. The case eventually went to federal court in 1967, where the court decided that the fast food chain's nationwide trademark outranked the state trademark, and the King could expand into Illinois. However, the courts awarded the Mattoon Burger King a 20-mile radius in which the corporation couldn't set foot in, at least not without paying them a pretty penny. And to this day, the closest corporate Burger King to Mattoon is in Tuscola, 22 miles away. Here's the museum I just barely missed getting to visit. Effingham was first settled in 1814 and was originally named Broughton, or Broughton, I don't know how it's pronounced. Once the Illinois Central, and eventually the Pennsylvania Railroad, arrived in the town, it experienced a period of rapid growth, which happened again when I-57 and I-70 met in the city. Effingham was named after Lord Thomas Howard, 3rd Earl of Effingham, who refused to fight the Americans in the Revolutionary War. Although another source claims it was named after General E. Effingham, who surveyed the area. Platform looks new. It's like very clean, very bright, like tactile strip. A lot of this looks new, but no time to
look at the station yet, because I gotta walk 45 minutes.
The first thing I did when arriving to Effingham was start walking, away from downtown, and towards the tallest, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth? The sixth tallest cross in America.
It's very industrial, warehousey, but it's been sidewalked the entire time so far, so can't complain yet. Old gas station signs down there. Also, I said it was sidewalked, but I'm not a fan of how the sidewalk decides to just end and then switch to the other side. So interestingly, instead of continuing under the bridge, the sidewalk instead decides to go this way. I mean, I'm headed this way anyway, so might as well. Alright, so the good news is the sidewalk continues. The bad news is this is a substantially busier road. So this is the Effingham Railroad Company, as it says on the building. This is a short line that operates here. And one of their customers is that Krusty's plant over there. But before it was a Krusty's plant, it was a Krispy Kreme plant. I think like only the second one in the world. I like how you have like the fancy sign and then just cross. Well, cross is what I'm gonna have to do to this death road. See how long it takes for me to cross this. It looks like a pretty busy street. Okay, I'm okay. Chat, if my power plant is making this noise, does that mean it's happy? Oh my god, it is so far down here. We're almost there though. And the sidewalk just stops. We were so close to having the entire thing be sidewalked. Right at the end. Right at the end. That's what this is, right? This is a pedestrian lane? That's totally what this is, right? We have made it. The cross at the crossroads.
The cross grounds opened September 16, 2001, and was inspired by a similar cross in Texas.
Looks like a really nice little park. Again, not really meant to be walked to, meant to be driven to, but honestly nice that they did build like a little park grounds here, and it's not just that in a parking lot. And I believe these are the 10 Commandments. QR codes. I thought there was something or like play, but maybe they've forgone that in favor of the QR codes. Alright, now to make a long trek back to downtown Effingham. Why are you walking? You can fly. For variety's sake, I'm going underneath the road instead of along the side of it, which turned out to be a horrible idea because there's no sidewalk. So finally getting up to a main road here. Wow, they got a bike lane. Look at this. Look at this urbanism. It's actually a pretty decent view of the Amtrak station, which still has a pointless arrow. We'll be back to check that out after check out downtown. lot of these towns just have these fantastic theaters. And it seems like half the time they're just closed, which is kind of unfortunate. All right, so I'm here on one of the 2 days that they're open, and it is currently between 10 and 2. So for once, I am able to peruse a museum. It always blows my mind. It's just incredible the amount of stuff some of these museums have. And they're so like local too, and it's incredible to see like the love and appreciation people have for their local towns. It's unfortunate that these museums are kind of hard to visit because they're closed a bunch, but you gotta remember it's like mostly volunteer. They're run on donations. Here's the train room.
The museum included an expansive model railroad layout, which included model replicas of both past and present buildings in the city. And yes, it included the cross.
Oh, this is incredible.
That was Central High. It was stood across the street over there where the good construction line is all gone.
Oh,
They tore
okay.
it down.
That's unfortunate. But
And this is the old hospital that burnt.
oh, I saw the. So all of these buildings were in Effingham or the surrounding area.
Surrounding area, yeah. Theater across the street, it's no longer there. And this is was a hotel. And this across the street here now it's office building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the glove factory was across the street over here.
Okay.
And they made gloves for like World War II.
Okay. Well, that was very cool. I'm glad I was able to go there. I wish I could spend more time there, but you know, I gotta kind of get back to the station. That layout, that like model layout was very cool, and how all the buildings were like custom made to like portray the history and like historic buildings. That was very, very cool. So yeah, definitely recommend if you're here one of the 2 days it's open. I'd say definitely stop in. Just got a strawberry fresh smoothie. It's pretty good. Also, they give you like a huge straw, so there's this nice trail right next to the track. It takes you pretty much directly to the Amtrak station. Oh, so apparently there's another path. Where does this go? Oh, it just goes to nowhere. Come on, there's no connection. Gotta walk across the grass. Come on. Oh. Well, it doesn't say anything about entering, so.
Effingham's original depot was built in 1851 for the Illinois Central, but didn't see passenger service until 5 years later. The current building opened in October 1924 and underwent renovation work in 2022. In fiscal year 2025, Effingham had 22,775 riders.
Well, it's small, but it's nice that there's a indoor waiting area. There are some benches out here as well, so.
Founded in 1853 and incorporated in 1859, Centralia was directly named for the Illinois Central, and the railroad's history is everywhere you look. Just across the street from the station is Bicentennial Park. Established in 1975 to celebrate the bicentennial of the United States, the park hosts an old train station and a wooden water tower, one of only two left standing along the old Illinois Central main line, the other just 22 miles northeast in Kinmundie. The Centralia water tower is believed to be over a century old. Luckily for me, I was there during the Centralia Area Historical Society Museum's Slynk open hours, and I walked through all 3 stories of the building. There was so much cool stuff there was no way I could film it all. I highly recommend stopping by here if you find yourself in town at a time when it's open. Of course, the exhibit I was mainly interested in was the railroad memorabilia, and there was a lot of it, including an extensive model train layout, old timetables, and more. I eventually found myself at the Centralia carillon, which was built in 1982. A carillon is an instrument made up of multiple bells, played via a keyboard, often held in bell towers such as this. At 165 feet tall, it is the 6th largest in the United States, and concerts with its 65 bells are held 4 times a week. Centralia is served by South Central Transit, which operates 6 routes across 6 counties in, well, South Central Illinois. The route I would be using today is the Cardinals, a bus loop around Centralia. Across the street from where the bus dropped me off is Fairview Park, which hosts one of only 2 surviving 2500 class steam locomotives from the Illinois Central, along with a caboose. The park also had a fighter jet that I didn't know about. Look, I'm into trains, not planes.
Transportation Center. Thank you.
After another bumpy minibus ride, I walked a couple blocks over to a church parking lot to grab a shuttle to the main event of the day, the Centralia Balloon Fest, a 3-day festival centered around hot air balloons. I couldn't really seem to find much history on the festival, only that it began in 1990 and has taken place each year since. If anyone knows anything about this, please let me know in the comments.
Theoretically, there's a $1 shuttle to the fair from here. I don't think that's it. I know at the transportation center they said this lot up here was for park and ride, which why would you park and ride? I guess you don't have to deal with parking at the park. Saying park a lot. Anyway, let's just try and find this shuttle, because if I don't, it's kind of a long walk and it's very hot outside. That might be it over there. Hopefully it is. Alright, we are on.
If you've been here before, you know how special this night and tomorrow night is. And if you've never been here before, I promise you this will be something you will go back find out. And you will tell all your friends. You'll put it on YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff.
All the balloon pilots, crew, and everybody are getting the final weather report from the Balloon Meister. It's not Balloon Master, it's Balloon Meister, which I just think is an amazing name.
Balloon Meister had some very good news.
The news is we are going to do an all fly. So all the balloons are going to set up and they will be taking off from the park.
I expected the balloons to be a little bigger than that.
Champion. Everybody put your hands together for that.
Well, here's the South Central Transit, like, I guess garage. Is it a garage that they're just sitting outside?
Despite being eaten alive by bugs, the flight was super cool, especially being able to see the balloons up close. I would have loved to stay for the balloon glow, but I needed to get back to the station to catch my train. The current Centralia station opened in 2003, replacing a small shelter.
Pretty bare bones in here, but I guess it's got restrooms and seating, so.
Centralia had 17,638 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025.
So in classic freight railroad fashion, I think this has been here blocking the road for the past 30 minutes.
The original site of Quoin was settled in the early 1800s and founded in 1844. However, as the Illinois Central continued building south, the settlement relocated in order to be next to the railroad. Many existing buildings were physically lifted and carried by ox to the new location. This new settlement was incorporated as the city of Quoin in 1857, and the old community became known as Old Quoin. The name Quoin comes from Chief Jean-Baptiste Quoin of the Kaskaskia, an Illinois Confederation tribe. Today, the city of Quoin has a population of 5,827. The original Illinois Central Station Quoin burned down in a fire in 1971. The current Amtrak station opened in 1989 and saw 6,909 riders in fiscal year 2025.
Got to be kidding me. So they do offer bus service, but it doesn't run on weekends. I don't know about you, but I love these kinds of chips. They're so good. Aw man, I missed the farmer's market. That would've been cool. It's like a lovely little garden gazebo. Again, just a fantastic theater. All these towns seem to have.
A major attraction of the city is the Quoin State Fair, an 11-day celebration that began in 1923 and features racing, agriculture exhibits, and concerts and shows. Some notable people have performed at the fair in the past, including the Beach Boys in the 80s and Flo Rida and Larry the Cable Guy in 2023 for the 100th anniversary.
Just got some ice cream from that ice cream shop. It's got like cookie dough bits, like chocolate bits, and marshmallow. So I think this is going to be very good. I'm going to go over to that nice little park and enjoy this because it's a very nice day today. Amtrak is awesome. I love how completely like bored and done with your shit these faces look.
Built along the, you guessed it, Illinois Central Railroad and incorporated in 1856, Carbondale is said to have been named for a large coal deposit in the area. At least, that was the reasoning one of the founders of the city, Daniel H. Brush, gave for the name. Coal was a major economic driver of the city, and by 1874, it was also home to the Southern Illinois Normal University. The college was renamed to Southern Illinois University in 1947.
I got into Carbondale. It's kind of late, as you can tell. And the buses stopped running, so I'm walking 30 minutes to the hotel. There is a hotel that's like right next to the station, but it was more expensive and this one was cheaper. It's not too bad out now that it's dark. It's a bit cooler. Ooh, look at this bike route. There it is. Have a soup RA. God, that sucked.
The next morning.
Well, Super 8, you were a place to stay. Jackson might get eggs, and Miles might get French toast. But Stormy gets a lot of pancakes. Oh my goodness. At least we know the bus exists. Whether I can catch it, pay for it, is going to be another thing entirely. you doing back there? Wait, there's still a Hot Topic here? Yeah, this side of the mall is definitely more lively. Not that it's a high bar, but definitely didn't expect a Hot Topic and a Bath and Body Works. Alright, well, theoretically there's a bus stop here. I'm not seeing any signage, but I just double checked on the route map and it says it's supposed to stop here, so...
Carbondale is served by JCMTD, Jackson County Mass Transit District, also known as JAX. The agency operates 5 fixed routes in the city, and does have proper full-length buses. However, since I visited while SIU was not in session, they were only using their minibuses. I stopped off at Big Chill, a walk-up ice cream shop that just has Dairy Queen menus, but all the Dairy Queen logos and trademarks are like covered up with Big Chill instead. Apparently this used to be a Dairy Queen until relatively recently, and reopened under the new name.
Well, I was going to maybe try to use one of these, but all of the recent reviews on the app were low stars, so I think I'll pass.
Carbondale was located in the direct path of both the August 2017 and April 2024 solar eclipses, with the latter bringing over 10,000 visitors to watch the event. Amtrak ran a special train to Carbondale to bring people to watch the eclipse.
Who doesn't love a 3-lane, one-way road right through your quiet residential neighborhood?
This is the R. Buckminster Fuller Dome home of architect, writer, and designer Richard Buckminster Fuller and his wife for over a decade, while he taught at Southern Illinois University.
I like how you have the house, and you have like a little garden thing that's like a wireframe of the house.
A bus ride brought me to the Carbondale campus of Southern Illinois University. Founded in 1869 and opened in 1874, the school is one of the 4 main directional universities in Illinois, and whose mascot is the namesake of the Saluki train. Some notable SIU alums include comedian Hannibal Buress, who attended but didn't graduate, actor Bob Odenkirk, and apparently the founder of Dippin' Dots. Okay, so you may be wondering, why is their mascot a Saluki? And what's with the names of the bus routes? If you're sensing a theme here, you're not wrong. Southern Illinois is colloquially known as Little Egypt, a nickname first given to the region by a Baptist missionary, due to the mighty Mississippi and a fertile valley invoking thoughts of the Nile. The name became more widely adopted after a harsh winter left Southern Illinois as the only viable region of the state for agriculture of that year. Settlers in the central and northern parts of the state, impacted by the loss of crops, traveled to Southern Illinois to purchase food. This event was likened to a biblical famine in the book of Genesis, strengthening the Egyptian parallels. By this time, several communities had been established with Egyptian-inspired names, such as Karnak, Dongola, and of course, Cairo. SIU's mascot, the Saluki, is also known as an Arabian or Persian hound, were originally bred in the Middle East, and were often depicted in ancient Egyptian art. Southern Illinois continues to represent the nickname, and references to the region's Middle Eastern counterpart can be seen across the area. Carbondale's original Illinois Central Station opened in 1854. A new, larger station was built in 1903 and stands today as city offices and a rail museum. The then current Amtrak station opened in 1981. It was small but had restrooms, vending machines, and a ticket agent. It shares many design elements from Amtrak's program of standardized station designs, but doesn't fully match all the guidelines of the program. At the time of filming, they were in process of building a large new terminal, the Southern Illinois Multimodal Station.
Well, I'm back in Carbondale after I filmed the Carbondale segment, and they still haven't opened the station. So when they inevitably open the station before I get the video out, do you think I should come back down here?
You do, yeah, you gotta come back down.
Well, true to my word, I came back. So I am here at like 1:20 in the morning, don't ask why, and I have a couple hours before my train north to Chicago, which should be more than enough time to check out the station. Just first impressions, I am honestly extremely surprised at how nice this is. So you've got the intersection here, you come in, here's like a little seating area, flagpole, you know, it's all nice and landscaped. And then you have, you know, the grand entrance. So this is a bus only lane here for both JC MTD buses and Amtrak Thruway buses. Oh, and oh my gosh, they actually have the local buses that stop here. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. I also love that there's a route called Big Muddy. It's all very bright and lit up. There's a like clock tower up there. But I mean, what good is it if it looks nice on the outside if it's not good on the inside? So let's take a look at the inside. I'm guessing this isn't technically the main entrance. Yeah, so I think the actual passenger entrance is over here on the side.
Carbondale saw 82,122 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025.
Oh, wait, hang on. Station hours, midnight to 4:30 p.m., then 9:45 p.m. to midnight. At that point, why not just have it open 24/7? But anyway. In Amtrak ticket area. I don't know what this is. That way to the train information screen. Yeah, ticket machine. A lot of the wayfinding and signage takes cues from a lot of the other new modern Amtrak stations that have been built kind of here in Illinois, mainly along like the Lincoln service. The Amtrak ticket counter, that's nice. Vending, that's nice. A lot of seating, that's also nice. I really like that the local routes have their own sign out on in the bus loading area. I don't know what that is all about. I guess we'll see. This is a huge upgrade from what it was. Like, regardless of any issues with this station, it is so much better than what they had. Okay, I do have one complaint. There are no like chargers like within the seats. Like, you know, sometimes seats will have like chargers built in with them. There's a lot of outlets like on the wall, but when they're kind of on the wall like that, I don't know if they're really meant for passenger use. Whereas if they're, you know, in the seats, it's kind of like, yeah, this is for you to use. That concludes the entire Illini and Saluki. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through Illinois. Please let me know what your favorite part was. Favorite place I visited, favorite thing I saw, favorite moment. And again, if you have any information that I missed, or if you've visited these places yourself or grew up there, please let me know down in the comments. I want to hear your experiences and your thoughts. Again, thank you so much, and I hope you'll watch the other two videos where I visit every station on the Lincoln service and the Illinois Zephyr. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.